Hi everyone, I'm Amelia. Today I want to tell you a story about a company that quietly became the front door of the internet. Before smartphones, before social media, before AI changed everything, there was one simple white page and one search bar that changed the world forever. From a tiny Stanford research project to a trillion-dollar AI empire, this is the rise of Google. And if you enjoy stories about technology, business, and the companies shaping our future, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Because the story of Google isn't just about search engines anymore. It's about who may control the future of information itself.
In the late 1990s, the internet exploded. Suddenly, anyone with a dial-up connection had access to countless websites, forums, and directories. But the sheer volume created a massive problem. Finding exactly what you needed meant sifting through an endless sea of junk links and spam advertisements. Early users were stuck trying to navigate this rapidly expanding frontier, using primitive search engines and manual directories like AltaVista, Lycos, and Ask Jeeves. Yahoo dominated this era by acting like a massive physical phone book. It relied on actual human beings sitting in rooms, performing the manual labor of categorizing websites. This made the results slow, often inaccurate, and easy for spammers to manipulate. The early web held an incredible wealth of human knowledge, yet without a scalable, automated way to extract order from that chaos, the information remained largely inaccessible. Over at Stanford University, two highly intellectual and often contrasting students, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, spent most of their time intensely debating each other. Out of those arguments, Page asked a specific question. He wondered if a website's trustworthiness could be measured by how many other sites linked back to it, rather than by how often it repeated a keyword. They built a mathematical system called PageRank to test this. Instead of reading the text on a page, the system mapped connections between pages. Every time a smaller site linked to a central node, authority flowed toward it. This automated system, the first iteration of Google, ran on a makeshift server built from spare parts. By treating every internet link as a vote of confidence, PageRank bypassed manual human sorting entirely. The algorithm calculated authority automatically, creating a self-scaling mathematical truth. Google officially incorporated on September 4, 1998, a launch secured by a $100,000 angel investment check written by Andy Bechtolsheim before the company even existed on paper. Despite their ambition to organize all the world's data, their first physical headquarters was modest, a rented garage in Menlo Park, owned by Susan Wojcicki. They named the company Google, a play on the mathematical term Google, the number 1 followed by 100 zeros. It reflected their mission to process an infinite volume of data. While late 90s competitors crowded their pages with hyper-cluttered directories and flashing banner ads, Google offered users a stark white background containing only a logo and a single search box. The search results were so much faster and more accurate than anything else that users triggered a massive migration away from older portals. Within a few years, Googling became a global verb. At the height of this migration, Yahoo actually had an early opportunity to purchase Google outright, and they refused. Google defeated the established giants without aggressive marketing campaigns. They simply offered users a fast, uncluttered sanctuary of pure utility. But having millions of users and a clean interface masked a problem. Google had no obvious way to generate a profit from free searches. The solution was Google Ads. They decided to monetize user behavior by matching advertisements to the specific terms people were already typing into the search bar. It worked based on pure intent. If someone searched for the best laptop, the system identified that commercial need, instantly bridging the gap between a consumer's query and a vendor's specific inventory. This guaranteed advertisers that they were spending money exclusively on people who were already looking for what they were selling. Combined with AdSense, which extended this targeted network to independent publishers, the advertising system rapidly scaled across the broader internet. By perfectly capturing and monetizing human intent, Google transformed from an academic tool into the most efficient profit engine in capitalist history. Backed by a revenue stream from search ads, Google began aggressively expanding its digital footprint across every facet of the web. They launched a series of tools that dismantled the competition. Gmail offered 1 gigabyte of storage.
followed by Google Maps and the Chrome browser. By the mid-2000s, they executed strategic billion-dollar acquisitions to move beyond desktop computers, purchasing YouTube and a mobile project called Android. That Android acquisition specifically ensured Google would own and dominate the mobile operating systems of the incoming smartphone revolution. In less than a decade, Google evolved from a single web page into the invisible underlying infrastructure required to navigate modern life. The physical manifestation of this empire was the Googleplex in Mountain View, a campus designed to function as a creative utopia. They pioneered a corporate culture built around policies like 20% time, which allowed employees to spend a fifth of their work week incubating personal projects, leading to the creation of Gmail and AdSense. This environment established Google as the global symbol of Silicon Valley optimism and technological innovation. After 20 years of organizing the world's information, the traditional model of retrieving search results is reaching its limit. Google is now having a port of future where its systems no longer just find data, but use that data to generate answers and solve. They expanded their simple search bar into a sprawling physical empire, taking control of essential daily services by launching Maps, acquiring YouTube, and developing Android. By controlling the browser, the smartphone operating system, and the world's largest video platform, Google achieved total data awareness. They track what you watch, where you travel, and what you buy. Processing that volume of human behavior requires immense hardware. Google constructed miles of these server racks and massive cloud data centers around the globe just to handle their own load. They became the absolute gatekeepers of the internet. If a business wanted traffic, they played by Google's rules, fueling a multi-billion-dollar advertising machine. This chart displayed behind the senators during a government antitrust hearing highlights the exact complaints competitors raised. The US and the European Union began suing Google, accusing the company of tracking private data, dominating the digital ad market, and manipulating search results to stifle competition. The regulatory pressure and shifting markets squeezed their margins. After years of hiring without constraint, the company initiated mass layoffs and severe cost-cutting measures, bringing Silicon Valley's era of unchecked spending to a halt. In 2015, leadership reorganized the entire operation under a new parent company, Alphabet Inc., with Sundar Pichai gradually taking control of the sprawling corporate structure. Google knew their traditional search monopoly was vulnerable. The Alphabet structure allowed them to pour ad revenue into biotech, advanced robotics, and self-driving cars to secure a physical future offline. In late 2022, OpenAI launched ChatGPT, a conversational AI capable of giving users a single, direct answer completely bypasses the need to click through pages of blue links. Google internally declared a code red. The AI war had officially started, and their core search advertising revenue was directly in the crosshairs. Management rushed their own AI model, Bard, to the public. The rollout was a disaster, with the model failing and generating an inaccurate response right during its day one demo. For the first time in 20 years, the company that defined the search era appeared to be losing its grip on the future. To recover, Google consolidated its fragmented AI power. They merged Google Brain with DeepMind, combining their top engineering talent to build a single, massive AI machine. They launched Gemini, a multi-tiered AI ecosystem designed to process text, audio, and video simultaneously, signaling their aggressive counterattack into the market. This is a technical diagram of the TPU 3.0. These tensor processing units are specialized chips engineered strictly for AI workloads. While competitors wait for other vendors, Google builds its own, causing Google Cloud to explode. Startups and enterprises rely on these physical servers. Google is betting on raw infrastructure, aiming to own the physical data centers that the entire AI industry relies on to function. By 2026, the company is a massive cloud and data infrastructure provider, actively commercializing physical AI deployments like Waymo robot taxis. But the paradox of AI search remains a direct threat. If an AI instantly answers a query, the user stops clicking on websites. That breaks the digital advertising ecosystem Google built its empire on. They are fighting a zero-sum war across multiple fronts, competing simultaneously against Microsoft, Meta Platforms, Amazon, and OpenAI. Google used to help humanity find information about the world. Now they are fighting a war that could eliminate the need to search altogether.